All right, I've got Stephen Nichols and Lucas Adams with me today. We are celebrating Day's 14,000th episode, the 55th anniversary of the show, and the fact that like Patch and Lucas and Kayla, they have such major story. Like there's a lot of story to unpack that's been going on with them. Stephen, first of all, can you imagine like another milestone? Like you've been with the show for so many years and now it's like 14,000 episodes, 55 years. Did you think it would last this long when you were first a young actor on the show?
No, I did not.
You're like,
a word. No, we were talking about it a little bit before, and I'm very grateful, number one, because for any actor to be able to have a job for this many years is remarkable, and it's a blessing in our business. So many actors, great actors, can't get a job. It just doesn't work out. They don't have the luck, because part of it is luck, and where you are at a certain time determines your future sometimes. So it's really great, and I'm very grateful to Days, and I'm grateful that they'll still have the old Patch Man, come dragging his ass in there to do this every day. It's great. I'm just, and I also want to say that Days is doing a great job of keeping us safe during this horrible pandemic. They're doing probably a better job than anybody else in the business, and I commend them for that, and we really appreciate it.
I had interviewed Peter. I'd interviewed Peter Reckel recently, and he leaned into me during the interview and he said, "Is it true that Steve is Stefano? How did that happen?" And he was laughing. We had a great. Like, he goes, "How did he do?" And I said, "Oh, he was really good." He goes, and he's laughed and laughed and laughed. It was like, well, if anyone can do it, Stephen can. But he just thought the whole idea of it. So he missed.
Well, that was my reaction, dude. Are you kidding? When they told me after I'd already signed, they wouldn't tell me before. After, I was just like, what the?
You're like,
WTF, baby.
But did you like doing it?
I did.
You did?
I did. No, at first, obviously, it was such a huge undertaking, and I had to really get going. I had to get the engine started. So the first couple of weeks were like, oh God, Princess Gina, and she's calling me Steffi. And it was, the first couple of weeks were like, man, I'm going to get this. I can do this. I got to keep going. I got to keep at it. Because first of all, playing, what Joe did, he's this wonderful villain in daytime television. To try, I'm not going to imitate the guy, but I had to get his essence. And then all the dialogue. I mean, it's a lot of dialogue. So I got going, and I started getting really comfortable with it and having a lot of fun. So,
well, Lucas, they loaded you up with story on your return, which was so great because when we last left, he kind of ran out of story was ending, and
I just kind of
just kind of gone. I'm like, okay,
off medical school.
Did you go upstairs, the Brady pub? If that happens, you're out.
It's like, where did he go?
Yep, gone. Sorry.
So you came back and you've been loaded in the story now. So what's it like been working with Lindsay Arnold? And what do you think about having to play all these beats of like, you're the rapist, he's the rapist, but he's not the rapist? And
I've said this before, but I've really taken my lashings, they're coming back. But it's been really fun playing this whole storyline, because this whole storyline's, it's very, like, there's a lot of like layers going on with it. So it's been really fun to play. And then Lindsay's like, she's awesome, for one, easy to work with, and she's the sweetest. And so it's so nice to be able to bounce off her. And like, even when she had the gun like scene, like there was one time we just riled ourselves up over and over again and then just did it. And so that's been a lot of fun, and just a lot of a range of emotions for this storyline. So that's been a lot of fun to play.
What's it like for both of you having Tamara Braun back and Ava Vitale back on the canvas?
Amazing. It's heavenly. Love her. She brings such an energy to the show that you don't see very often, and I always love having her there and working with her.
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Just love it.
And then James Lastovic had came back to do these shows. Talk to me, both of you, Stephen, first of all, about James, who was, you know, I so remember interviewing the three of you with Mary Beth when you first started on the show. It was so nice to see him again.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
It was amazing. I mean, you know, he came in and did his thing. He's, you know, he's James. He's like, he's just the sweetest. He's a sweet, sweet young man, and he's so talented. And he's so in the moment. He takes his time with every single moment, and it's a style that a lot of people in daytime, you know, everybody wants to hurry everything up and rush through everything, but he really, really does his homework and thinks about every moment that he's having to play. So it's always great to work with him. And Mary Beth and I we just hugged him to death, and we just couldn't stop hugging him.
Lucas, Mike Manning has been revealed. Charlie is his brother. You now have a brother.
Yes.
What do you think Tripp's reaction will be when he finds out?
I think he'll definitely be surprised, just because I don't think that was even on his radar, was, you know, having a sibling of some sort. And so I think that's really going to be, it's going to be a shocker for him, but I think he's also going to be excited because he's just like, finally, some sort of explanation can, like, at least, you know, justify it to him, because he's like, he doesn't know how to explain any of this now, especially with the DNA tests. And so I think that it's going to really give him like some justification of just like, finally, like there's something that I didn't do and I can actually prove it in a way. And so I think he's going to be excited.
I think he'd clock his brother for being a rapist and letting him like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think there's, yeah. Oh yeah. That's gonna be fun.
It's great to see you. And
thank you so much,
Michael.
Great to see you. Happy New Year. And hopefully 2021 we'll be together again and see each other in person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Happy holidays. Happy New Year.